Some men say, well, I'm not like that. Well, you may be worse in a different way. Those are the cowards. You're just like your father Adam. The first is little boy Larry. Little boy Larry, he's a total sweetheart. He's a guy, 20s, 30s, God forbid, 40s. Can't keep a job, forgets to set his alarm. He's 8 years into his undergraduate studies. Works part-time because it stresses him out. Still lives with his mom. Maybe he moved out, but his mom's always worried about him, so she brings him groceries and picks up his laundry and helps pay his bills. Little boy Larry is a totally nice guy. He's a real sweetie pie. So nobody ever kicks him in the batteries. He gets away with murder. Little boy Larry really loves his mom because she's always changing his proverbial diaper. And his hope is to meet a really nice gal with a good job and a house. So that he could go from his mom to his girlfriend or wife. And he'll come up with dumb ideas like, I'll be the stay-at-home dad. I'm really good with kids since I am one. They really like me because we relate to one another as children. Little boy Larry is a joke. He gets away with murder, especially in the Christian church, where he tends to be majority. Women who are attracted to these men say, but I really love him. Yes, you're attracted to him as a mother is attracted to an orphan child. But that's not a marriage. That's a mother-child affection. That is not a wife-husband affection. You don't look at this man, ladies, and say, I respect him. I want my sons to be like him. I want my daughters to marry men like him. You say things like, he has a lot of potential and no one understands him. I do. He's an idiot. And he's fooled you. Number 2, there's Sturdy Oak Owen. This is the dad who goes to work and comes home, pays the bills, turns on the TV, and checks out. This is the dad who he is physically present but emotionally absent. He's always working on his car. He's always on the internet. He's always in his study. He's always in the garage. He's always in the yard. You say, Dad, you were never there. He's like, I was always there. Yes, in a comatose state. There are some of you here, your dad never said, I love you. He never hugged you. He never encouraged you. And what he would say is, what do you mean I wasn't a good dad? I put food on the table, I put a roof over your head, and I came home every night, and I was there. He wasn't there, present, connected, participating. That's a coward. That guy's ultimately a coward. He's afraid to get involved in the lives of his wife and children. Number 3, there's hyper-spiritual Henry. This guy drives me insane. This guy drives me insane. This is the guy with the Christian t-shirts, Christian bumper stickers, always listen to praise music, always reading the latest trendy Christian garbage book. Everything's about God, but it never really makes any sense. He wants everybody to know how hyper-spiritual he is, to the point where his wife and children are embarrassed by him. Right? The kids don't bring friends over to the house. How come you don't bring your friends over? Dad, because you're embarrassing. You keep talking about the Canaanites and want to argue over circumcision. You're an idiot. You're embarrassing. Some of you had this dad. You're out to dinner. A guy comes to pour the water. He's like, do you know Jesus is the water of life? And he can have streams of living water come from you. The 14-year-old kid grabs a salad fork and is trying to go under the table and find their jugular and just end their life. Because their dad's embarrassing. Last name is Flanders. Terrible. To be the spiritual leader, gentlemen, does not mean that you're just a total freakish oddball. Number 4, there's Good Time Gary. Good Time Gary, everybody loves him. Life of the party. He is funny. He is charming. He is winsome. He is entertaining. There's always a crowd of people around him. Everybody likes him. He gets along with everybody. And here's the key. Everybody loves him. Nobody respects him because he's a joke. That's why he's so funny. He doesn't just tell jokes. He is one. Every time something happens in his life, he just turns it into a joke. He doesn't realize that his life is the joke. Can't hold a job, can't pay his bills, can't get out of bed in the morning, can't follow through on a commitment, can't stay organized, can't see anything through to completion. Everybody loves him, nobody respects him. He'll draw a crowd, but they won't follow him because he's not going anywhere. He's not a leader. A wife who's married to this guy, eventually he becomes not so cute, not so funny, not so clever. He becomes profoundly annoying. She's tired of the jokes and the good times and the everything's funny and aren't I clever and cute. She wants a real man she could depend on. She gets sick of it. Men are prone toward chauvinism or cowardice. Too much, too little. Now, the key is to understand the gospel. The perfect man is Jesus. The man that we were supposed to be like is Jesus. Our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ, comes into human history to live life as the perfect man. God-man, to be sure, but perfect man nonetheless. You and I need to take our cue for masculinity from Jesus. Now, the key to masculinity is this. Jesus takes responsibility. For himself, he works a job. He takes responsibility for me. See, the cross is where Jesus substituted himself and died in my place for my sins. Now, you need to know this. My sins are my fault, not Jesus' fault, but Jesus has made them his responsibility. This is the essence of the gospel, the good news. If you understand this, this will change how you view masculinity. A man is not the one who can spit the farthest, punch the hardest, fart the stinkiest, yell the loudest. He's the man who takes responsibility. Some of you are not big, you're not strong, you're not tough. In a cage fight, it's not going to go well for you. In a squirt gun fight, it's not going to go well for you. But you could still be a man if you're responsible. Jesus died for my sins. He took responsibility for me. Once you understand how Jesus' masculinity is one of the means by which, as covenant head, he has served us well, then you realize to be a man means to take responsibility as the head of the covenant of marriage.